Hey, it's Kris and Luis, and we're here with Ball FloraPlant TV. We're in Arroyo Grande, and today we're looking at Serenity Osteos from Genesis in the greenhouse. Now, we want to talk to you about Genesis today, and what does Genesis mean? Well, it's a callus cutting, and for you as a grower, it means less labor, less crop time, and less input cost. So in the past, when we've looked at Genesis, we've explained that a Genesis direct stick cutting or a direct stick liner will outperform a traditional unrooted cutting and speed up your crop time by 2 weeks. And today we're going to prove something a little different to you. We're going to prove that you could transplant a liner, this was from a liner, on the same day you direct stick Genesis, and the crop time is the same. That means that with the Genesis direct stick in a gallon pot, you can take 4 weeks off your bench and skip propagation. Serenity now! Did you hear that? Okay, so this is a liner, traditional liner propagation. This is Genesis direct stick. We took 4 weeks off the bench and we produced fabulous product for both repetitions and had the same finish date with shorter crop time on the Genesis direct stick. So now I want to talk with Luis and figure out how did we achieve such good quality on the Genesis direct stick and what are the details of these two different repetitions, liner versus Genesis direct stick. So Luis, let's first take a look at the liner and at what we did to get this beautiful Serenity Dark Purple from a traditional URC and propagated in a liner. So what was the stick date for this crop?
All right, so that liner was stuck week 42. It was in propagation about 5 weeks. We created a liner. Our propagation temperatures are around 68 degrees Fahrenheit with bottom heat.
Sure.
It was pulled out, grown in our zone out here. We're running average night temperatures of 55 degrees Fahrenheit nights, no bottom heat.
Okay, so now we want you to take a look at this screenshot that shows what the liner looked like when we transplanted it and what it looked like after the pinch right at transplant. So when did you pinch this product and when did it get transplanted?
So we pinched it week 47 and it was transplanted week 47, so pinched and transplanted week 47. It received a PGR application of B9 2500 cycle cell 750 ppm mix week 1, about 4 weeks after transplant.
Okay, so now what's interesting is Luis just told us that this liner, this 1 gallon was produced from a liner that was transplanted in week 47. And what's interesting is this pot right here in my hand was produced from a Genesis direct stick, and that callus cutting was stuck on the same exact day that this was transplanted. So let's look at the Genesis repetition and what we did to get there. So again, we stuck on week 47, and what were some of the other details like the propagation temperatures and stuff that we did to treat this pot?
So this was directly stuck out here in the greenhouse. We had average night temperatures of 55 degrees Fahrenheit with no bottom heat. It was pinched 5 weeks after transplant, and like I said, it was grown out here in our growing zones. It received a PGR application of B9 1500 cycle cell 500 ppm mix. So this was week 1.
Okay, so let's review those details again. Transplanted as a mature 5-week-old liner on the same day that this was direct stuck, week 47. They both received their pinches at 5 weeks, but the pinch date was different because in the early stages, as you can see on the screenshot, the liner is ahead of the Genesis. Now if we switch to the next screenshot, which is about 7 weeks into the production cycle, the Genesis has caught up to the liner propagated material. So you see that they've both equaled out in size. Now, let's take a look at these pots again. Remember, we talked about less labor. So you reduced the handling because instead of sticking and transplanting, all you have to do is stick. You've reduced your time on the bench. You've got less crop time by 4 weeks. This is 4 weeks less on your greenhouse bench, and you skip propagation. And we've reduced your input costs, again, about less transplanting, but we did less PGRs on this crop. We had less B9, and the total crop time was shorter. So again, less inputs. So Serenity now. Hey, you got to try Genesis direct stick from Serenity or Voltage, especially the dark purple looks fabulous. You can reference ballfloraplant.com to get the full PowerPoint with all the details of how we produced this trial. Stay tuned to BFP TV. Keep the plants happy and they'll keep you happy.